Activating meridians. Alignment. Instability in field. Negative. Charged aligning matrix field. Positive. Coordinates reached, Commander.
Activate the Sade field.
My world is crashing down and there's nobody else around to talk to, so I cry myself to sleep. Dreaming of pure happiness, I wake up in my loneliness. If only things were like they used to be. Live my life my own way, both bad and good from yesterday are making me the man I'm gonna be. So I keep shining on, cause I will not be proven wrong. Bide your time and baby you will see. Cloudy skies are coming, but the silver lining makes it worthwhile. If you're in the darkest tunnel, run through till you see the light. And now that you are coming strong, there's no need to pretend, cause it'll all be alright in the end. I live inside my head because nobody understands the dream that makes me do the things I do. Put down at every turn, just getting by on what I earn. No guarantees this plan will even work. Live my life day to day, getting betrayed is the price I pay for overtaking people I once chased. So I'll keep fighting on, not being held back anymore. I'm closer than I've ever been before. So I say cloudy skies are coming, but the silver lining makes it worthwhile. If I'm in the darkest tunnel, I'll run through till I see the light. Now that I am coming strong, there's no need to pretend, cause it'll all be alright in the end. And I know that I'm hurting, and there's nothing you can do. And I know I've been searching for a reason to be true. Cloudy skies are coming, but the silver lining makes it worthwhile. If you're in the darkest tunnel, run through till you see the light. Oh, now that I am going strong, there's no need to pretend, cause it'll all be alright in the end. It'll all be alright in the end. It'll all be alright in the end.
Activating meridians. Alignment. Instability in field. Negative. Charged aligning matrix field. Positive. Coordinates reached, Commander.
Activate the Sade field.
Activations of multi-dimensional engines.
Launch communications probe.
Power levels to maximum.
Activate all dimensional levels of communication.
Communication established.
The voice you hear is known as Bob. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached our destination. This is the last slave planet in the galaxy. Under all agreements, under all rights, under galactic law, we now proclaim this planet free. The descension of the true human consciousness has begun.
Energizing Shambhala diamonds.
The men, women, and children of this planet are now set free.
Grid fields activated.
You have already reached
Activate Shambhala diamond.
critical mass.
Integration onto microcosm. Expanding linear space.
Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing. Prepare for landing.
Free space activation. Landing. Caution. All crew members to station. This is the Starship Bob. We are landing.
We are when you press that button. Thank you. We're now live. Thank you very much indeed. And we have total and absolute user controlled. The corporations have been evacuated from Darkcity. It is true. Open source Darkcity Radio, the two world's only free radio stream, is now on Mumble. Mumble, come on. I know you're in there. Come on. We got Rabbit and we got Anthony. I know they're in there already. Are you going to say hello to us from directly onto the stream from Mumble? They're not.
Hi there, stream. It's Anthony here.
Hey, there you go. We can do it. We can do it. It's a bit clunky, isn't it? It's a bit like 1950s. I love it. Clunk, clunk. Hello, this is Mumble. But as we move... Oh, go on, Rabbit. Get in there, mate.
Saying hello, mate. Just saying hello.
Right, so the viewers, or the listeners know, Rabbit and Anthony are actually in Mumble, in the Mumble chat room. Now, that chat room has got text as well, just like the IRC chat room. We're still on AnonNet. We thank you. Absolutely wonderful. For, what's that? Change on that. Something to do with delay or something. I'm not quite sure what that meant. Oh, and again, I don't know what that is. We're getting a funny noise now. We've broken it already. But anyway, big thanks, as I was saying, to AnonNet for providing us with the Mumble server. Absolutely wonderful stuff. For us to be able to do that. We did all along. I get that. Now I need to turn that off. I'm getting kind of weird channel things now, making noises. I don't know why it's doing it. Anyway, experimental. It's great, isn't it? It really is. What's it saying? Is it because I haven't got my Mumble up front here or something doing it? No, I'm getting all sorts of crazy noises coming off my Mumble. No, that's... I might have to shut that down for a little bit because I'm getting the sound activations coming through Mumble at the moment. It's making, every time somebody types something in text, we can...
Bob, can you hear me, Bob?
Yes, I can hear you, mate.
Go to configure and deselect text-to-speech. And you will not hear any voices from the text-to-speech option.
There we go. This is why we're a crew. In it. It's done. There you go. It's not doing it anymore. See, we fixed it. Look at that. He's disappeared again now. That's the Vosto. Appears in the room. Now, I wonder why he didn't tell us in Mumble. Oh, it didn't work. It did not work. It's still doing it. Every time I get a little bit of a text noise, it's going blink, blink, blink. So there we go. We might as well sort it out while we're live on air. This is what it's all about, getting it to work. Now it's coming on mine. So, hang on a minute. I've got to do it on all of them.
There's like a million, isn't there?
Yeah. I'm running 3 different mumbles here, Mealy.
terrible. Good luck.
Yeah, what would be funny is I suppose we should put the text-to-speech on the server, and when somebody types in the room, it'd speak it across the across Mumble, wouldn't it? That'd be really fun. So yeah, as I was saying is,
you could have the chat room live the rest of the day or an hour, where whatever people are
Greetings
like
again.
chat room
Hello.
just goes live out over the radio.
Bob,
yes, Vosto.
you can also go to the settings and go to the messages and scroll down, and there is text-to-speech, and you can just remove everything from that. You can do it later on.
Well, to be honest, Vosto, I did it on the server, but it wasn't the server that was doing it. It was actually on my personal machine that was causing the problem. So I did it on that machine, and it stopped. So you were right, mate. Your advice was bang on. I just did it on the wrong Mumble one.
There is also a different location where you could do the same thing. It's just like reinforcing, text message. It's like notification, text to speech, and remove that from messages. Whatever, we'll sort this out later. I think I shall go now.
Well, it is working, but it's still doing it every now and then, I suppose. Yeah, we will. We'll sort it out. It's a brilliant breakthrough. We've managed to do it, and that's what's important. We can't, like I say, I've said it loads of times. There's going to be a few lumps and bumps and mistakes, but yeah, here we are. Here we are, rocking and rolling. Did you stop and start the recorder, Saduma, after the show, after Rick's show?
I believe I forgot.
Right, okay, man, just so I know we've got one huge file. But no worries, I'll sort that out. Go on, Lee, what were you going to say, mate?
I was just going to ask if we could ask those over in Mumble what the weather's like over there.
I think you just did.
So, hey, where's the Mumble?
Go on now, lads, one at once. Go on, Mumble.
That embarrassed me. Go on, Mumble. I said cloudy.
The Mumble world is cloudy.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
There you
cloudy here too.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Now, Rabbit has been kicking around Rabbit Pinch, and he's thrown some things in for me a couple of times. He's bailed me out a couple of times in the IRC chat room in the past. And I'd just like to say, well done, what a dedicated warrior. He wouldn't come on to Skype. He wouldn't
thanks,
do it.
mate.
And no, but it's right, bro.
Thanks,
No, it's 100% right. Why would you? Why would you come and support a corporate-controlled piece of poo like we've been having to use and struggle with for months? We really have. And Dan, fair play to Dan, he said all along, if we're going to be free, then we need to be free of the corp. And I've followed these. I've learned, hear me. I have learned, and I'm honoured. I'm honoured that there's so many people from the Linux community actually stuck by this. Because Rabbit's been around for ages now, mate. He has, and he's just been sweet about it. Really has. So we've made it. We have actually made it. Darkcity Radio. Like I say, this is the first live we've made it. Go on, mate.
I'll just say that. Thank you very much for that. That's very great.
Hey, it's true, mate.
I'll just sit round in a corner like I do and nothing to say, and I'll chirp in every now and then, I suppose.
Well, that's what it's there for, man. I mean, we are kind of going to probably leave that Mumble open live. So there will be either on the back server, we'll leave it up, put a little bit of music on low, so you can talk over the music. I don't know, we've got to try it all out, but that would give us a chat room, a live chat room all the time. It could become like the newsroom or the back green room. The potential's amazing. It really is amazing. We can have, it is. Well, it's a chat room, isn't it? But now we've got a live chat room. And that people who don't want to be part of the actual inner movement can still take part from the outside. It's their radio, and slowly but surely more and more people come in. They're going to have to get a bigger mumble server.
We could take off like the 80s. We could have a telephone chat. We could take off like the 80s again. You never know.
Well, why not?
It's the internet and everyone will just be on the phone.
Well, why not? Why not indeed? I mean, basically that's what we're doing, isn't it? It's massive group phone calls. That's what we're doing worldwide. We're actually starting to use the power of the internet. For us, where we've been hijacked repeatedly over and over again. I mean, the big ones are, well, I mean, for me, a tragedy of the internet is YouTube. YouTube, created by the users, the uploaders. Thousands of people uploading to one site, giving it content. And what happens is, the guys who have it, they sell it on the proviso that the profits go back to the uploaders. And Google create AdSense. Pyramid selling. You're not seeing the profit. You're not seeing any profit. You never have. It's a con. And to me, that's one of the tragedies. It's one of the tragedies of the internet, where people come together and collectively work and create something beautiful, and then the corporate systems just come along and take it away. Just at a blink of an eye. They lie and they cheat and they deceive us. And I mean, I have an original YouTube account under my Bob McMahon. I'll have to apologise for the quality and the content. But those were the early days where you snap things and you stuck things together and you made up videos with whatever you could get your hands on, And now, I don't know how long it is since I set that account up, but I don't know. Years later, this is being used now to create psyops groups to divide us up even further. The internet, the whole idea of it was to bring people together. It really was. I mean, okay, originally it was a military application to open it up, its security, and amateurs actually got it to work. So, it's our internet. It's your radio and it's our internet. We pay for it, we upload. Without the uploaders, without the content being created, as it is right now, by us, we're creating more content which is going up to the internet. And they charge us for putting that up there so you can listen to it. Hang on a minute. Can't we just cut out the middleman? Can't we just talk to one another? Do we need to? If we're going to do it worldwide, then we do need some form of communication. But if our servers can talk to one another, do we really need to have all those other connections being paid for in that area? Couldn't one server in a localized area provide for those local people? It can. Quite easily. Most people who are using the internet are only using a very small percentage of what they're actually paying for. It's normally the uploaders who have to pay more to get a bigger bandwidth. So they can upload that stuff so you can get it. Is it just me who sees the irony? Hang on a minute. We the people provide the content. We the people read the content, watch the content, enjoy the content for our education, whatever, pleasure, whatever it is. And then we pay the middleman for the privilege. Your line's already in. How much electricity is it using? Oh, well, we've got to upgrade the servers. Yeah, you upgrade them like bleeding David Icke at £300,000. We upgrade them at 200 quid. Well, just over the £200. And that's what they've cost us. The two servers we're currently running, that's what it costs us. There's a forward server and a backup server. The reason for the backup server, of course, is quite simple. It copies everything. It's our little backup of our little intranet we have here at Darkcity. And on a few occasions, kids really. Kids, that's who it is. Yeah, they've tried to slap us. Well, we can't lose it. Well, of course, if you don't press the record button, then it don't get recorded, and then we don't have it. So it's vitally important that we've got that little red button ticking there right now. But as I'm speaking, this very signal, my voice, is being transmitted from where I sit to another location, where from that location it's going up onto the internet, and it's being transmitted down to all you people out there listening right now. At the same time, other people are connecting through other networks and gathering together. Of course, at the moment, those other two networks that you can gather here with us are now Skype and Mumble. It will become Mumble and Skype. You know, like it used to be meat and potato, and then it became potato and meat. Do you remember? Well, that's what's happening. Slowly but surely. We align ourselves now. We align ourselves. I mean, of course, that's up to you, who you align yourselves with. You see, I don't choose to line up with the corporates. I'm not going head on with them. I'm looking for an alternative to profit. I think I've got one. I think I've got an alternative to profit, personally. I think I've got a couple. Maybe some of those that see us as competition should actually try them. You should try them out. They're called honour, dignity, and respect. Maybe we should integrate throw a coin if you like. But maybe we should use these instead of profit. The only profit we should actually have is those people who can foretell the future. Not those that actually use that to trick us and deceive us. So it's been done. We've been out on the internet. We've been out in schools, we've been out on the street, we've been out by the newspapers, and lo and behold, whether you know it or not, that television is not telling you the truth.
What? You mean mainstream media doesn't tell me the truth?
It's for entertainment, Barry. It's meant to keep you entertained.
Yeah, it's a fantasy tale for sure.
Oh, there you go. I definitely need another keyboard
It always strikes me. It's great sort of say, you know, ain't it awful, and you know, we all explain all the different ways to fucking us over, and explaining how basically they're all a load of cunts. We all kind of know that, but it's what are we going to do about it? Is kind of the big question, I suppose. For me, the answer is tell everybody, make everybody aware, get them to like pay attention, and it's kind of like the big lie everybody has. Everybody understands that they're all out to screw us, and we're all fucked. But nobody seems to want to address it, and I think that's what I'd like to do anyway, is to like push people to address this.
Yeah, we're unfortunately we live in a fear-driven society, man. And like if people can't see what's on the walls and the writing now, with what's going on the planet, then a lot of them never wake up. I mean, I've spent a lot of time talking to a lot of people about this, and a lot of people just like they don't even want to hear it. They just continue on with their lives, and they figure that everything is fine. But honestly, if you can't see it now, if you can't see what's going on in this planet with everything that's going on, then you really are either choosing to ignore it totally, or you're completely blind, or you've got a real problem with your brain. Because it's so blatantly out in the open now. Right. People are waking up. I mean, slowly but surely, I feel people are waking up. But like, it makes you wonder some days why they're not waking up in mass, and what we can do about it. Well, that's a big question. There's lots we can do about it. Just starting with bucking the system, simple ways of bucking the system and taking $1 away from the corporation every day. $1 here, $1 there. I mean, Dean's pointed at a lot of things. Dean has pointed out a lot of things to me that we can do, just simple things we can do every day by avoiding the corporations and not supporting them. And I know they're just small things, but if you add all those small things up, all of a sudden they make a big pile. So that's a few comments I wanted to make.
Quite.
And Yeah, good. I can't. I'm right with you, Anthony. No, it's back again. So it's somebody there. I'm getting a ding. Did you get that? Was it text? It did it again. Never mind. It's definitely coming off. Oh, there it is again. Coming off the server.
No.
Say again.
It's text off Mumble.
Yes, I know. I'm just trying to stop that doing that though. Which one is the Mumble server? It's over here. Yeah, well, I think we've gone a long way really. To text to speech is not on. But I think we've gone a long way really in actually, kind of putting that message out there. I mean, we really have, Rabbit. And also integrating some of the solutions. I mean, we're on one now. We're actually using it now, aren't we? We've integrated the alternative. So yeah, I mean, if nothing else, it does prove irrefutably that we are going to do what we say we're going to do. And I'm pretty buzzed up with this. Like I say, I've got a bit of an annoying ping, ping, ping taking place, but hey, it's nothing we can't sort out. It's, I mean, it's quite cute, really. It's like Barry's parrot. I haven't got a parrot. I've got a mum.
I put the parrot away today. Miss Hazel was giving me heck for that, so I had to put him away. But yeah, just exposing these ideas to people's brains, like you have got my mind going in different directions with these concepts. Like it started off with Dean Clifford when he talked about communal living and how that could be implemented now and what it would do for society. And boy, I mean, if we start a few of these things going, maybe society will look at it and go, hey, maybe there is another way. So leading by example would be great. I'm kind of buzzing about it too, Paul. I mean, you've really got me thinking about all kinds of different alternatives here. And that's great. That's what we're here for, to share ideas and get our minds going in different directions. And you've done that today.
Well, thank you, Barry. Like I say, that Rabbit's saying, it's the same thing, isn't it? You're putting your little bit out there. He's getting out there and putting it in people's faces, Come on, what are we going to do about it? And well, what are we going to do about it? That's it. We are. Yeah, well, I say we are, man. I say we are. But, watch for the complacency. Be really aware of that complacency. Before we know it, we've been here before, especially here in the UK, and the declassification of cannabis we've mentioned on Rick's last show. They did that with us. Oh, yeah, we'll bring it down to Class C, blah, blah, blah. We had a great big report. They said it didn't need legislating. There wasn't a problem with it. Everybody's about to celebrate, so they decided to make it Class B again. It went the opposite way. I mean, I reckon if we convince the government that cannabis is actually lethal, that if people take cannabis for long enough, they'll become incredibly sick, very ill, and they'll need to have to take lots of prescription medicine. You mind go for it, Barry.
They'll pass legislation tomorrow, Paul. Come on. They'd be right on that like a dirty shirt.
So, yeah, it is. I mean, I think this is our greatest weapon, Barry. I remember it in the film Life of Brian. And in that film, they're in front of the Roman Empire. It's before the crucifixion. And the Roman comes up and he has a speech impediment or a lisp. And the people are saying, because he can't say R's, I think it's R's, he says W. Wall's the R. And they're saying to him, what do we? Hey, that triggered mumble, didn't it? What do we? Woofus of Wackenstall should be released immediately. And the people are rolling about. They're just rolling out laughing. They're just laughing at the Roman Empire. The might of the Roman Empire before them is brought to its knees with laughter. So it's a powerful tool. It really is. And if you actually look at the emotions that are actually released when you have a really good laugh, when something really gets you and you're rolling about and there's tears in your eyes, and you look at those emotions, look at the energy, the frequencies that are released. Oh, go on. Go on, Mumble. Let Mumble in, Barry. Go on, Mumble.
I was in a detention centre when I was 17, and every Sunday the warden used to come round and we had to stand by our beds for inspection, and we all laughed one Sunday. We just couldn't stop laughing, the whole dormitory, and they just couldn't deal with it at all. It was the best thing. Yeah, that was really funny, that was.
Well, that wasn't Newhall, was it? Was that Newhall?
No, Rochdale. Was that Newhall? Buckley Hall in Rochdale.
Wow. I tell you what, mate, a long time ago.
1977.
I tell you what, mate. We're going to have to sort your feedback out there, Anthony, because every time you have to keep flicking back and on and off again. You have to have a word with Rabbit and get him sorted out. But, yeah, you believe it or not, man, a very long time ago, more than 20 years ago, I was in a detention centre as well. The short, sharp shock. That's what they called it. And believe it or not, exactly the same thing happened there. Exactly the same thing. So yeah, it must have been one of those what do they call them, swarm effects that must have gone over captives at the area. Yeah, I don't mind admitting I've made a few mistakes. Go on, mate. Let him go for mumble because he's audio.
It happened at school as well. It happened at school as well, where in the headmaster's office, we had 4 of us in there, and he was trying to give us a dressing down, as they call it, and we just all laughed at him, and he couldn't deal with it. He just in there and he said, "Get out, get out, get out."
Oh yeah, I have a couple of school stories. I mean, corporal punishment was still at school when I was there. Caning. This where they would take from 11-year-old boys and girls. Girls got caned across the hand. Boys across the posterior, the bottom. They'd bend you down where you had to clench the desk, and they would strike you up to 6 times with a cane. This would create welting and bruising across your body. That isn't that long ago. We whipped our children to make them conform. Of course, many people would argue, excuse me, I mean, it just find the irony of the situation. Many people would argue that now our youth is running riot because there is no corporal punishment. I tell you what, you come round to my house, I'll go out in my back garden, I'll get myself a garden cane. Well, I haven't got a garden, I've got a bit of a yard, excuse me, exaggeration. I'll go out in my tiny yard, I shall get a garden cane, and I'll strike you across the arse. See how you like it before you go doing it to an 11-year-old child. Do you know what I call that? Sick. Sickness. Illness. That's an illness. That's an illness. Real sick illness. People that would actually strike children to be do their way. Go on, Anthony.
Just saying exactly, I thought there was a bit of a space I could get in there, though there's a bit of a delay involved in this, so I'll shut up for a while.
Oh no, you're all right, mate. Come in and get in. It's all right. I appreciate you doing that. I've got to get used to it as well. We knew this would be a bit tricky because we've got 2 groups of people now being dead patient while each group talks to one another. It's really good, isn't it? Really. It's like the old-fashioned talking stick. It's like we have a bridge now, like a mythical bridge leading from the Darkcity, from the freedom of the city into the corporate world. And people can, those people who are trapped inside the city, they can wander over that bridge now and come into and a live stream of Mumble. It's great, isn't it? Because Mumble's actually on the server and we have to ring into it from here. So the delays, I think, is on our side, not yours. So yeah, we could do in numbers or something in the...
Use the ding on the tech. We could do it.
Go on, Anthony, go ahead.
We put the ding with the tech.
Go on, Anthony, go ahead.
When I put some text in a minute, that noise will indicate that somebody wants to speak over here, perhaps.
Yeah, it'll work, won't it? We're going to use the ding to get... There you go! There you go, it works. It is actually coming from the server, I think. I think it is coming from the server. So that works, man. That worked. As soon as you put that in, it went ding. But it's not the ideal way of doing it. It isn't. I can see the Mumble servers. I can see 3 of them at the moment. Not the servers, the rooms. You know, like you look, like the little programs you look. So it's like I say, it's just getting them set right. Getting my head around which one's making that. I know which one it is. It's just getting it to stop. Maybe I've not done it on one of them yet. But anyway, where were we? Corporal punishment and skills. Schooling. Now, there's a thing I've played with for a while. Educational policy. A lot of people, if you haven't seen it, we've mentioned this quite a while ago on Darkcity. And before I get into that, good night, Lee. Good night, Lee, mate. I know you'll still be listening. He's just dropped from the call, mate. Thanks again, bro. Brilliant help. He really has. A great support to Darkcity Radio. It's Lee over in Spain. Where was I? Corporal punishment, wasn't there? Educational policy. We've mentioned quite a few times, not for a long while actually, a video called, now it's Ken Robinson, and it's Changing the Educational Paradigm. Changing the Educational Paradigm. Within that, he speaks of divergent thinkers and how the educational system's been set up. It's pretty much banged on. It's, you know, all right, you could shave a few things here, you know, you could polish a couple of corners, but if you haven't looked at that video, do so. Do so. Especially if you've got children, adolescents in school right now, anywhere in the world, have a look, because this is already taking place. Trust me on this. Educational policy is changing worldwide. They can't afford it. They really can. It is changing. There's no doubt about that. I mean, and Kemba really brings that up. I worked a long time ago with the implementation of IT across the national curriculum on a project called Challenge Tim. Of course, now IT is prevalent in pretty much all education. But back then, it was pretty much computers we used for word processors and calculating, and they weren't used for much. So, yeah, it was a government ideology, you know, that computers should be in every household and everybody should have connection to this internet highway. Of course, back then, we never realised they'd try and take control of it. Many of us were completely ignorant to what's really going on in our world around us. Of course, many of us have woken up to a different reality, one where you can take control for your own well-being and bring forth change. But for many of our brothers and sisters here, that is not the case. They are still trapped within the old educational paradigm, set up by the Victorians, right in the middle of the Industrial Revolution in the early 1900s. And in all fairness to them, they set up that with the working method of the day, industrialisation. Children go in at one end at a certain age with the sell-by date, and they come out on another end. Of course, we've all seen here at Darkcity, sometimes some of us work better individually. Singular, loner people out there on the fringes you very rarely hear about. My mind jumps back to Phil Thinker. Phil makes movies. A great assistance to us in the early days. But Phil works best on his own. He told us this right in the beginning. As the numbers begin to build, I will drift off. And you can still see him out in the distance, questioning on the graphics to this very day. And what was it all about then? The educational system. I've been out of that system for a while. Of course, you'd think that by now, I mean, I'm 49 years of age. You know, I'm getting a bit long in the tooth now. You'd think by now that this would no longer be affecting me. But of course it does, on a daily basis. Because the majority of the people around us were actually produced by that mechanised system of education set up by the Victorians. It hasn't really educated us. It has schooled us. And the longer it's gone on, the less educated we've become. As I say, Ken Robinson's Changing the Educational Paradigm explains this far better than I could. But it is something we really need to look at. You see, brainwashing. You see, again, when your mind's been, if your underwear was that soiled, as soiled as our minds, you pop it straight in the washing machine and get on with it. You know, you're not going out with them pants on. You know, oh, you know, you might get run over by a bus. Have clean underwear. You know, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it. So even in that brainwashed or brainwashing, perhaps that's what we need to do. Wash out all that old ideology and that old way of thinking. I mean, of course, I'm just throwing these ideas out there. That's what I'm doing. Like I say, educational policy is going to change. It's already changing all around us. That old system, the World War II system, is failing. Cooperative living, the progressive destruction of community, of the community spirit, community well-being, community presence, has been taken apart methodically over many years. As we've been trained within the feudal system, like machines churned out of factories set up by Victorians. And in all fairness to them, they lived in the war era, mechanization. Look at us. Look at us now. You see, without them, we wouldn't have these capabilities to be able to talk to one another as we do. Surely now we're not going to look back over 100 years and say they were wrong and they were evil and they were twisted for doing the best they knew with what was available. Of course, we have a lot more available to us now than we have ever had on Earth. And our children. Amazing. The input. Now, okay, I've heard the arguments that this was done intentionally to overload us. That would give us that much information on this freedom highway, that we would never be able to patch it all together. We'd never be able to draw any conclusion. And the greatest psyops of all, to confuse humanity, mankind, womankind, whatever we're going to call them, would be on and would be afoot, dear Watson. The game would be afoot. However, I suppose they never even considered that the men and women and brothers and sisters of Earth would come together and they would work collectively. They would sift through vast amounts of data being bombarded to them, and slowly but surely, each one of them would excel in their own field. And they would share that freely and openly with their community at first, with themselves and then their community and then their friends and family, spreading like a virus across the earth. Who would have thought it? And I surely know that the ones who set up this integrated system of schooling, which we now call education within our schools, all the way back in that Victorian era, maybe they did know. Maybe it was a conspiracy. It really doesn't matter now. It really doesn't matter. Because we have sifted through the information. We were not overloaded by the massive amounts of information that were downloaded to us. And now we begin to upload that information, deciphered and sorted out by each and every one of us, brought together, in our case, in our little microcosm of what goes on, Darkcity. Whatever little society or group or club you're seeing, You'll see this is just a reflection of the society that we actually live in. The smaller the numbers, the easier to see. The greater the numbers, the harder to see. Educational policy and the way our children are socially structured into society is changing irreparably as we speak. They are casting their words, they are placing their structures of education, examination, where they have a tiered system, where the ones that perform move to the top, and the ones that cannot perform move directly to the gas chamber. Oh, no, excuse me, not quite, to the dole queue. But of course, in Nazi Germany, that's exactly what happened. Too late? No, never. Never too late. You see, we have gone through that process of deceit. We have gone through the process of lies, the fear porn. I mean, well, I've been living here now. I should have died of pig flu, chicken flu, cow flu, goat flu, bird flu, AIDS, soft brain tissue disorder, salmonella from chicken eggs. How long does the... Oh, foreign bugs. Look out for the foreign bug. Everything is ridiculous. Either somebody's been telling me lies, or I'm a mole. No, actually, I think someone's been telling me lies. Okay? I think so. So, yeah, killer bees. Yes, there are also killer bees. There's a beast on Boglingdon Moor. Aliens are going to get me. Reptilians are going to crack the earth open from the... You know, there's a giant, heavy, mass object coming from round my rear. I've heard it all. Apparently that struck the earth in April. Oh, guess what? Missed again. I tell you what, either somebody's feeding us a crock of shit, right? Or the rubbish. Oh, they're trying to destroy us. Well, I tell you what, they're not making a very good bleeding job of it. They're not making a very good job of it. It shouldn't be that hard. No, it wasn't from... I think it was. It was coming from the backside of Uranus. You see, when they actually told me this, they told me it was coming on April... on the 1st of April. On the 1st of April, a giant asteroid had come from... No, a mass object it was. It wasn't an asteroid then. It was a mass object. This is what I heard. Gospel truth. On April the 1st, a mass object had come from round Uranus and struck the planet. Hang on a minute. First of all, here in the UK, April 1st is known as April Fool's Day. And... a mass object coming from your ear means you're talking out of your ass. So, they actually told us that we're full of shit and we're lying to you again. Oh, and by the way, you'll have confirmation by the 1st of April, fool. Yeah? So, you've got to be able to decipher this bullshit into, like I said, into a bit of comedy, into a bit of fun. Because, yeah, things are changing around us. Like I say, have a look at that Ken Robinson. Changing the educational paradigm. It is a serious thing. It is a serious thing. But it's very revealing. Like I say, this could, you know, if you have got a child out there, and there's more and more and more divergent children now, not losing the divergent thought patterns through education, they're being medicated. Okay? They are being medicated. ADHD and this, that and the other, attention deficit disorder and so forth. It's a crock of shit. It really is a crock of shit. I mean, what they're saying is the teacher has no longer got the capabilities to keep the children's interest. They can't keep the children occupied. So the teacher can't keep the child occupied, so the child is at fault. What? Help me! There's something not quite right about that statement. The teacher's being paid to educate or teach, whatever you want to call it, the child, but the child isn't interested because the teacher can't keep them occupied, and it's the child's fault. Let's give them drugs.
Go to the corner, take your Ritalin.
It's just kind of like, what? And you know the irony of it? The parents go, yeah, I knew that kid of mine were a bit odd. No, listen, you sick fuck. You're odd. You're the weirdo, sat there, smoking your Benson and Hedges, drinking your Nescafe coffee, eating your microwave meal, sat in front of your television, saying there's something wrong with your children. Hang on a minute. Have a look around you. You're living in a society that lives on the persecution of others. Okay? I don't care where you are in this world. It tend to be that's what's going on. And what we're actually suggesting is, stop it. Stop it. Just stop doing it. It's that simple. It really is simple. You don't have to do it. You don't have to listen to this bullshit. Heavy mass object coming from around Uranus. I'm not making that up, right? You can't write this stuff. You really can't write this stuff. That was, I heard that. I really did it. When I was over on Revolution Radio, I'm telling you, I nearly wet myself. It's ridiculous. Oh, my greatest sympathies as well to my associates that were over at Revolution Radio. As everybody knows now, I've completely cut all ties with them. My suspicions that actually went on, and as I mentioned earlier, Phil Thinker actually cracked the data in the place, that they were lying bags of cheating scum. And I'm not having to go at the people who were there and the listeners to that, but have a look at what's being broken now about what's going on with these so-called truth radio stations. Please, as some people have checked us out, check the others out. Go and inform them people and let them know. Don't get into conflict with them. Just let them know. Because many people are not aware that they're being had over. Okay? I haven't got a problem with anybody on any radio stations making a living. Paying the wage, paying the rent, whatever it is they've got to do, right? That's what you've got to do. I ain't got an issue with that. Alright? But Darkcity Radio costs about $150 a month to run. That's what it costs. If I put the man hours into that, alright, it'd be an astronomical amount, especially at the setup. We joked the other day, we could pay all the horse. We could pay all the horse. Everybody could be paid. In their world, in our world, nobody wants it. None of us want that. So I haven't got an issue with somebody doing a radio station and saying to people that it costs £2,000, $2,000 or $1,000 a month, and because, it costs this much for this and this much for that, and they're taking a wage. That's alright. I ain't got an issue with that. But don't tell people it's the cost and then rob them. Don't make out it's costing £2,000 when it only costs you £200. Right? Don't do that. That's cheating. That's cheating. That's lying. That's being deceitful. Don't do it. That's not the truth. You've no right to put yourself under that banner of truth when you're a lying, cheating piece of scum. Because that's what you are when you do that. So don't do it. And when other people come along with an alternative and you slap them down and beat them up and pick on them, because they can do it for $150 a month and you're insisting it costs $1,000, that's because you're a lying, cheating piece of scum. And then when you give out females' information so sexual predators can prey upon them, that makes you a lying, cheating piece of scum. Alright? And that's Revolution Radio. Because that's what they do. We caught them doing it, we had them hands down and we were assaulted. That's why we left. That's why we left. And they've done it before. They've done it before. And there's a few people still over there keeping their eye on it. Some nice people. Good people, we're good. But they need to have a look at that as well. Because that is not what it says it is. They're lying, cheating. And all we've done is, the only thing that upset them is we told the truth. There's 17 people listening to this stream right now. 17. Yeah, we don't, why? We're not doing that. I'm lying, 16. Tried to catch me out, bunch of bastards. It doesn't really matter because we know they're not. 17, welcome back. Saddam has just said it as well. It's not a lot. It's amazing. You think how many people are out there in the world? How many people we told? How many people we talk to? I'm beginning to think that I'm a boring piece of shit, man. I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to stop talking to people for a while. You know? Step back. It's a shame. It really is. It's a shame in that sense. But in another sense, how many people do you need to actually get this moving? How many people do we need to get the Rick Simpson thing off the ground? How many people do we get to put up an alternative media stream? Excuse me, Dan. God, I felt the big hand of Linux God, Dan Denoid, pushing down on my head then. The only stream.
Mason in the chat room says, Bob, you are awesome.
Thank you, Mason. You're awesome too, man. We breed awesome on the Darkcity. Look at that, false talk. Just popping in. You are awesome, bye. Yeah, well, awesome. 18, we're getting awesome. So yeah, the thing is about this PSYOPs stuff and these so-called radio stations that aren't radio stations and you know, because we're not a radio station, are we? We're not a radio station. We're not. We're not. We're the voice on the internet. That's what we are. We're a voice on the internet. Your voice, my voice, many voices. Well, they're a bit quiet, actually. Oh, Bob's come back. So, yeah, be part of. Oh, come on. Anthony. You want to say something?
No, I'm just putting the word broadcaster back. I was just putting the word broadcaster into the chat for perhaps.
Well, yeah, we are broadcasting, aren't we? In a sense, man. That's right. Like I say, but it come as a bit of a shock to me. It was like, oh, can we do it? That's how we started off. Can we do it? And we did it. Yeah, it caused no end of trouble. You get my point? It's like, well, what have we done wrong? What have we done wrong? I felt like, in them days, mate, I felt like a little kid who'd gone back to my dad, and my dad had said, you know, oh, you can't grow money on trees. And I'd come back and go, look, Daddy, I've made a money tree. And he went, fuck off. You can't come in here after I've been working for 60 years with your jumped up ideas of doing it for nothing. You get out! And that's what it's like. It really is like that. When you come up with an alternative that works, we're walking cap in hand to these people. We really are. Text message channel Anthony. I've got to find that. It's doing it on there now. It's coming. It goes in there as well. I don't know why it's doing it. Anyway. So, I'm going to have to get that sorted out. Ding! Ding! No, I hope it doesn't go on the outstream, the audio going out. I hope it's just here. So where we at? We're coming right up to the end of the hour, folks. Yeah, again. We're coming up to that little point where we could all go away if you like. I didn't even give the phone numbers out. Well, you can use this now. You can use this service. Of course, we've got to set it up a little bit further. Rabbit pitch. Not really prepared to come on here. Right. Yeah, we can use this service. That's what it's for. You can get into the Mumble. And we've posted that up. We'll do it again. The more you get in, and we'll keep the Mumble open nearly all day. There's somebody kicking around in Mumble. It was going on till the early hours of the morning, or the long hours of the morning this morning. So yeah, it's a real good thing. Nice to see Jabba from Babylon Decoded. He's there in the Mumble chat room now with Anthony, Vosto, Sadama, and myself, and there'll be a few more getting in there. I know Sparky's worked that out. He's been in there today. A few problems with his microphone, but hey, that's our Sparky. And even Barry, the technophobe, he's going to get his son to sort it out. So, yeah, it's doable. It's doable. I know it's new. I know it's a bit tricky, and that's what happens with these things. You know, it is a bit tricky to do when it's new. No, it's different. And that's what it's about. Try something different. You know, it won't kill you. It won't kill you. Cannabis don't kill you. Mumble won't kill you. The internet won't kill you. but your government might. And your doctor might. You know, be careful. We're the alternative. And after the alternative, there's one thing I can guarantee. You'll live. Right? Huh? Yes. Yes, alternative treatments, you live. That's the difference between alternative and conventional. The conventional way of doing it involves you dying to achieve your aims. And as far as I'm concerned, that's a bit of a con. I don't really want to die to be successful. I can't see how I could possibly be really successful in dying. Now again, to me, it's pretty obvious that. It's pretty obvious. But again, with the greatest of respect to all them people out there who just think I'm a crack-smoking, piss-drinking lunatic. Carry on. Just carry on. We are having a go. You know, whatever you may think of us. You know, awesome, amazing. To my mates, my new fans in the chat room. And it is great, because we do get put down quite a bit. And we do, so it is nice to have people who appreciate us. It is. Because I appreciate you lot. I really do. Like I said it earlier, I am. You know, I was pretty much a broken guy. I really was. What I've been through, I shouldn't have survived. I really shouldn't have survived. And I did survive. And it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. Jabba, like I say, thankless working there. That could have shut us down. It really could. We love you. There's a jingle. I'm out of here.
When you hear the sound, when you hear the sound, when you hear the sound, when you hear the sound of Dark City Radio,